Here we have a 2013 Volkswagen Caddy 1.6 diesel engine with roughly 97,000 miles on the clock. As part of the service I'm doing on this van today, we're going to tackle the engine oil and filter change. We'll need to remove this cover, which is quite loose actually. It's just a rubber socket and ball location. They're there, and I think the other two are probably missing, which is what's loose at the front. But they, as you can see, they just push on, so you can just pull those off. The oil filter housing is down here with a nut on the top. So we'll start by stripping this area out and removing the filter. To do this oil and filter change, you're going to need a 32mm socket, an extension bar and a ratchet. To take the oil filter housing off, a couple of screwdrivers advisable. You definitely need a little one to get the O-ring seals off of the housing. But to access that filter, you're going to need a Torx 30 bit, whether you have it in a socket or a gun like this, doesn't really matter, just to remove a bracket. The sump plug is a 19mm, you could use a spanner or a socket, whatever you've got to hand really. Good idea to have plenty of blue roll or rags kicking around for spillages, and a funnel to use to top up. Now it looks a bit tricky, but from memory, all you need to undo is this bolt here, which is a Torx 30. And we can lift that out of the way, put it to one side. And that looks like 30. Right. 32. Yeah, 32mm. It's going to be a little bit messy. I think I might pull the dipstick slightly. Take this off. Just allows air back into the engine while we're draining the oil out underneath, but also when you lift this up there will be quite a bit of oil left in the housing, which will just help it to drain down into the sump. It's a bit of a wriggle, but I'm pretty sure these do come past. Yeah, they do come past all these pipes. There we go, one oil filter in its housing. So we'll take this over to the vise now. Just makes it easier to hold that while I change the seals and the filter. Right, these should just pull off. I've nipped up the nuts in the vise. Yeah, there we go. I don't think it matters. Oh yes, it does matter which way up the filter goes. Just make sure that's the same one. As you can see, one end is bigger than the other. So the biggest end on first. And in the box with the oil filter you get a selection of seals. So we'll have a go at changing those now. The big main one there and two smaller ones. It can be a little bit fiddly to get off sometimes, but you should be able to do it just with a small screwdriver. Try not to stab myself. I think the smaller ones are more tricky than the big one. So that's all three off. That's it. There we go. Back in the grooves. Let's get this fitted back in the van. So the oil's drained down out of that now into the sump, ready for us to empty out shortly. Yeah, it is a good idea to put a drop of oil on these seals, but when you change these on these housings, they're so oily anyway, they normally get a fair bit on there. So I'm happy with that. Wriggle this back in here. If I can remember how it came past. Oh, that was it. You will find tightening torques on these normally. Oh yeah, there it is, 25 Newton meters. And if you've got a torque wrench to hand, that's great. But you just got to be sensible and not go too mad with it, because it is only a plastic housing. Just make sure you nip it up. So these oil filters you should be able to pick up under £10 for an aftermarket one, which is what I'm using today. Just make sure you take your registration number with you to your outlet or your dealer, or when you're shopping online. That's normally all you'll need is a registration number, and they should be able to look up the correct part suitable for your particular engine. Okay, lovely. So that's the filter done. We'll take it up in the air next and drain the oil out. So this engine has a 19mm sump plug, sump bung, whatever you like to call it. I'm using just a single hex socket where I can. It reduces the chances of slipping and rounding things off. Nothing wrong with using a spanner. I just prefer to use a single hex. As these get older, they do wear a bit and can become quite easy to round off. Right, that feels loose now. So the engine's quite warm, which means the oil should come out fairly fast. So have your drain tray or your bucket ready. It may splash a little bit. Right, we'll just set that down there, keep an eye on it, and leave it to do its thing. Right, so that's been draining now for 5–10 minutes, slowed down to a steady drip, which could go on for some time. Before you put the sump plug back in, it's a good idea to check the washer. It's all part and parcel of the sump plug on this, so they don't come off. They're normally fine to reuse, but just make sure it hasn't been crushed or split or anything. But that one's good to go. Mine's in so far and gets a little bit tight, that one. And as with all mechanical fixings, you will find a tightening torque online. But yeah, just be sensible, nip it up, don't go too mad. Right, we'll drop it down next and get some oil in it. Right, so before you pour it in, just make sure your dipstick is still pulled, this time to allow air out of the engine and hopefully stop it all glugging up and making a mess. And when I collected this oil from the outlets, they recommended 4.3 litres. I'm going to go with about 4 litres, just over 4, and run it up and let it settle and check it and just keep topping up. It's much easier to do it that way rather than just glugging the whole lot in 4.3 and then finding, oh, actually it was only 4 litres. Then you've got to crawl round underneath again and try and drain off 0.3 of a litre. It can get a bit messy. Should be able to pick up a 5 litre tub this moment in time for around about £50. Again, depending on which brand you go for, the prices do vary quite a lot. Got 4.3 in the jug, but I'm not going to put it all in. Right, I'm just going to fire this up, let it tick over. You don't need to rev it up. It's actually not a good thing to rev an engine that's just been started, especially if it's been drained of oil. It takes a little while for the oil to pick up and circulate. That sounds good. That should do. It's just to allow the oil to circulate, refill the filter and the galleries. We'll let that stand for 4 or 5 minutes now and then check it on the dipstick. So you can see the minimum mark there, that little recessed ring all the way around the dipstick, and there's the maximum. Hopefully we're somewhere between the two. Yeah, as you can see, we're right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of that oil in. Right, so that's 4.3, and again we'll leave that to stand for 4 or 5 minutes. Don't need to run it again because the oil's already circulated around the engine. And we'll check it again shortly. Okay, so I've topped up a couple of times, just in little dribs and drabs. And as you can see there, we're fractionally below the maximum, which is a good place to be. The longer it stands, that will creep up tiny little bit, so that's good. One thing I forgot to mention was make sure you're on a flat level bit of ground before you do this, before you check your oil level to get an accurate reading. Ended up taking nearer to 4.5 litres. Yeah, it's important to make sure that you haven't gone over the maximum, because that can also cause engine damage, just like being underfilled. Different kind of damage, but just try and get as close to the maximum as you can without going over. I'm just going to pop the cover back on, which, as I said, is just the ball and sockets. Only 2 of them are complete on this one, unfortunately. I'm not sure it's even the right cover. And that's it. All I'll do now is give this a road test, come back. I'll probably take the cover back off and just double check the filter and the plug and make sure there's no leaks.